Good morning to all of you. In this class, I am going to start with another important topic of chapter microbes in human welfare, and the topic is microbes as biocontrol agent. Before going to start, first revise our previous class meeting, then we proceed to today's topic. In previous class, we have already discussed about the different topics like microbes in industrial area, microbes in household products, microbe in sewage plant treatment, sewage water treatment or sewage plant, microbes in biogas, or then after this in microbes as biocontrol agent. In previous class, in the production of curd, the lactic acid bacteria use lab, or also said to be lactic acid bacteria or lactobacillus. Now they increase the vitamin B12 contained in the milk, or convert or partially digest the milk protein, so they are beneficial for us. Then after Swiss cheese is also produced by bacteria, that is Propionibacteria shermani. The special texture or taste provided to Swiss cheese are given by the Propionibacterium shermani. Then Roquefort cheese formed by the Penicillium roqueforti, which is a fungi. Now, after this, in industrial areas, the huge amount of Saccharomyces cerevisiae is used for the production of different type of drinks like rum, whiskey, beer, wine, brandy. All these are formed by Saccharomyces, in which the grains or cereals mainly of fruit fermented by the use of Saccharomyces cerevisiae, where they convert the sugar into the ethanol. Now when they convert sugar into ethanol, the partially fermented broth or the fermented broth undergoes in distillation or without distillation. There are different kind of drink produced with distillation, like brandy, whiskey, rum. All these kind of drinks produced by by the distillation process of the fermented broth. And without distillation, there are two only drinks produced by cereals or fruits. These are wine and beer, which is obtained by without distillation. Then after antibiotics produced by the Alexander Fleming, and the discovery of antibiotic done by Alexander Fleming by accidental, when he was working on staphylococci, or during his experiment he was obtained that at some places or culturing medium the bacteria are not able to grow due to the presence of Penicillium notatum, because they secrete some chemicals. Because they are secreted by penicillium, so the chemical is known as penicillin, or these are antibiotic because they are against the in the presence of these antibiotics the bacteria are not able to grow. So after these, Ernst Chen and Howard Florey used that penicillium onto the soldier of healing the wound of soldier of Second World War. So after this, all these three scientists got the Nobel Prize in 1945, and in 1942 the Waxman gave the term antibiotics, which means against, antibiotic means life. So overall these about the microbes in industrial area. Now microbes in sewage water treatment, the primary treatment and the secondary treatment. In primary treatment, simply the removal of solid waste from the sewage water, that is by the sedimentation or by the filtration. After the sedimentation, the effluent transfer into the aeration tank or into the secondary treatment, where the organic matter removed with the help of phlox. Phlox is the mass of bacteria and fungi which digest the organic matter or organic pollutants which are present in the sewage water. After the digestion they treat the sewage water till the BOD reduced. After the reduction in the BOD, then effluent transfer into the anaerobic tank, where is partially or fully digestion of, which is a sludge digester actually, or the phlox are digested by the methanogens, which are anaerobic bacteria. There is no need for the oxygen, so so that's why the tank is known as anaerobic tank. Now after the removal of organic or the phlox, then the sewage water become less pollutant as compared to the previous, so they are now discharged into the neutral water bodies. Now for the sewage water treatment, so many arises the actions Ganga Action Plan and the Yamuna Action Plan, for example. Now, after this come to the biogas production, in which the three tanks get associated with each other, in which the last tank formed by the concrete, or both the two tanks are also formed by the concrete, but they are small. Now, because in the cow there is already, in the rumen of cow there is already present the methanogens, which digest the cellulose molecule or help in the digestion of cellulose of the leaf of the, because they are already, the cell wall of the plant are formed by the cellulose, so help in the digestion, these bacteria help in the digestion of cellulose, or they are already present in the rumen of cattle. So they biogas produced by the cow dung. In the dung we mix generally water and then drain or pour into the small tank. Through the small tank, then it passes into the large tank, where which is a sludge digester covered by lead, and the lead is connected with the pipe, or pipe is connected with the house stove. So whenever the gas is produced, mainly what the methanogen do, they digest cellulose and release carbon dioxide, methane gas, or H2S gas. Now methane gas is inflammable, so they are used as fuel, or through the pipe they transfer to the stove, or where anyone can use these as a fuel. So after biogas production, now come to the today's topic, microbes and biocontrol agent. In the biocontrol agent, so many recently, or the previous past year, the farmers use so many pesticide, insecticide, weedicide, and so many types of chemical, due to which the harmful weeds, those are harmful or those are beneficial, both are destroyed by the chemicals. Now when we use insecticides in our field, so the insecticides do not target only a certain species, specific species. They actually target so many type of species that are beneficial, or play an important key role in the food chain or food web. So they are important for us or for environment too. Like pesticides are also chemicals. So when we use the pesticides in our field, so not only a specific pest get destroyed by the pesticide, so many pests get degenerated or degraded by the use of pesticides. So farmer actually use so many pesticides, or for the reduction of use of pesticide, we induce the biocontrol agents in our field. For example, there are so many chemicals used by farmers like pesticides, insecticides and weedicides, herbicides, so etc. So there are so many chemicals which are generally induced by farmer in their field. But what happened after the use of these chemicals? They do not target a specific species. They actually target so many species which are present in that particular crop field. So whenever the farmer use insecticide or pesticide, so the species is not destroyed, but that particular species is not destroyed by the insecticide or pesticide. Actually, so many species which are beneficial for us. For example, the birds are also destroyed by the use of pesticide. As we compare to the previous or the present situation, the lots of birds get extinct. For example, or also become less in number. For example, the number of sparrow in If we discuss about the sparrow, 10 years before they are so many in number or large in number, but in recent time there is reduction or reduce in the number of the sparrows, like vultures. Now in previous time the vulture are but in present time they are vulnerable or endangered species. So because of the use of chemical or because of the use of chemical in the field, so if we direct introduce the chemicals such like insecticide, so many birds depend on the insects. When they engulf these insects, so indirectly they are also get harmed by the insecticides. Like pest, if they are the birds and the butterflies for example are depend on the particular pest, so they are also destroyed by the pesticide, because indirectly the pesticide harm that bird. So many species use of chemicals in the field not only destroy a specific species, they actually destroy so many species indirectly, or also the humans are also affected by the use of pesticides, because during the inhalation or respiration all these there are chances of transfer of these insecticides or pesticides in their respiratory system, in the human respiratory systems, because they are present of us in the environment. So or they also if we spray pesticide or insecticide in the form of spray, so use pesticide or insecticide in the form of spray, so their droplets present in the environment in the form of aerosols. Through the aerosols they easily get transferred in our respiratory system, so that's why they are also harmful for human. So use of these chemicals are not actually use of these chemicals harm so many species present in crop field and also target human. So they also target humans. So that's why there is use of the so that's why there is important to use biocontrol agents, because the biocontrol agents are so specific. So when we use biocontrol agent in the field crop, so they target only a specific species. For example, if we use ladybird and dragonflies, if we use ladybug and dragonfly, so by the use of they actually feed on aphids or insects, so that we can reduce the number of acids with the increase in number or the culturing of ladybird, and also dragonfly. Lady birds and dragonflies dragonfly ladybirds and dragonflies feed on aphids and aphids and mosquitoes. Feed on aphids and mosquitoes. So when we use ladybird and dragonflies in our crop field, so they feed, because they feed on aphids and mosquitoes, so they reduce the number of aphids and mosquitoes. So they because mosquitoes are not so harmful for us, but aphids are harmful. They actually make hollow, or also they target fruits, leaf of plant of our crop. So that's why these are important. We can reduce the number of aphids by the use of ladybird and dragonflies. Now after these, use of bacteria. Use of bacteria, Bacillus thuringiensis. Use of Bacillus thuringiensis is quite beneficial than the use of ladybird and the dragonflies, because these are specific. They feed on mosquitoes and aphids, or these bacteria are also specific. They also target caterpillar larvae of butterflies. So caterpillar larvae feed on leaves of crops. So if the leaf young, they are actually feed on young leaf. Caterpillar larvae feed on young leaf of crop. If they feed young leaf of crop, so they indirectly reduce target the plant, or plant are not able to grow, or due to reduction in the shape, size and leaf, they are not able to synthesize their food, or that's why the overall the crop efficiency get decreases, or the production of crop get decreases due to the caterpillar larva of butterfly. So the spores of Bacillus thuringiensis mixed into water and then spray into our field can reduce the caterpillar larva, because they actually do not harm any other species. They only harm that species. Those are feeding on the leaf of, or the plant part of the crop. For example, if any species are actually do not make harm on our crop, they are not destroyed by these Bacillus thuringiensis. If they feed on our crop, so they are destroyed by or targeted by the Bacillus thuringiensis. The mechanism of action of these bacteria are so simple, because when the spores get the farmer sprayed that spores of these bacteria on the plant. So after engulfing of leaf of the plant that have the spores of these bacteria, when the spores of these bacteria transfer into the gut of caterpillar larva, due to the alkaline pH, they converted the protoxin, or they release some toxins. Due to the increase in toxins, finally there is degeneration or porphyration in the gut of the caterpillar larva, or due to this reason the caterpillar larva become died. So the mechanism of action of these Bacillus thuringiensis is so specific. They destroy only that insect those feed on the leaf, mostly the caterpillar larva of butterfly, because they feed on the leaf, young leaf of the plant. If the leaf is not present, so the plant are not able to grow, photosynthesize, or form their own food. So that's why they are important. Now next is baculovirus. Baculoviruses, they belongs to the family, or family of, they are belong to nucleopolyhedron family. Nucleopolyhedron viruses. Viruses. So these are also microbes. Viruses are also microbes. They also feed, or they also target the insects. If we spray these baculoviruses with water, or with substance on the leaf of the crop, so actually they target the species, that species they may which make harm on that plant. So these are also important for us, baculoviruses, or we can use these as biocontrol agent. So mechanism is quite different with as compared to the Bacillus thuringiensis, but significant or the specific. Due to this reason, we can use baculoviruses in place of the chemicals, in place of pesticides or insecticides. Or the trichoderma is a fungus. Trichoderma. Trichoderma is a genus of fungi which also target insecticides, or they can grow on life. Actually, the characteristic nature or the feature of the fungus is they can grow. They grow on saprophyte. They are saprophyte, or they grow on. They are saprophyte, or they grow on dead material. But the specific nature of trichoderma is they can grow on living organism too, living insect too. So when any insect engulf the spore of trichoderma, because they are also from the spores, also when the spore is engulfed by any insect, so they can the trichoderma germinate, spores germinate in the body of the insects and form the hyphae. Or that's why due to the formation and due to the development, actually they do not form any toxins like Bacillus thuringiensis. Bacillus thuringiensis produce toxins. Toxins porphyriate the gut or lumen of the caterpillar larva. But trichoderma simply, they do not form any toxin. They only grow in the gut of the in the whole body, not only gut, in the whole body of the insect. So due to the germination of these fungi, because they use their they also because introduction of hyphae also involve the porphyration, or due to the germination of these trichoderma fungi, finally the insect get or become dead. So overall, these are the microbes we can use in control. Microbes used in the control of all these kinds of pests or all these kinds of insects. Now, Bacillus thuringiensis is most important in the field of biotechnology. We introduce the genes of Bacillus thuringiensis by which they synthesize toxins. Now, when we introduce these genes, bacterial gene, bacillus gene, into the plant. So plants are able to synthesize the bacillus toxins, but they are not active in the case of plant because they synthesize in the form of protoxin. When any insect feed on the leaf of plant, the protoxin transfer into the gut of the larvae, caterpillar larvae, or when they transfer into the gut of larvae due to the alkaline pH, they are changes into these toxins are changed into the active toxins, or due to when they convert into the active toxins, they act on the membrane of the gut or lumen of the gut, so the gut become proliferated, or due to the whole the fluid uh, get exited from the gut of the larva. That means whole the fluid which is present inside the gut transfer into the outside of the lumen, so that the insect or larvae become die. So overall, this is the mechanism of Bacillus thuringiensis, and these are the viruses. Bacteroviruses belongs to the nucleopolyhedron family of the viruses. Trichoderma, which is a fungi, they simply grow. Fungi simply grow on the bacteria, grow on the insects or paste, so the paste become dye. So overall, these are the mechanism of action of the biocontrol agent. Now next is microbes as fertilizers or as biofertilizers. Microbes as biofertilizers. So many microbes used as a biofertilizers, like cyanobacteria, Anabaena, Nostoc, Rhizobium, Azospirillum, Azobacter. All these are the bacteria which actually increase the nitrogen in the soil or in the plant. They transfer the nitrogen, or in mycoplasma also. So microbes as biofertilizers. Microbes as biofertilizers, there are Rhizobium. First microbe is Rhizobium. Rhizobium, which is a symbiotic association. They form symbiotic association with Leguminaceae plant, or the plant which belongs to Leguminaceae family. So they form root nodules, or they absorb nitrogen from the soil and transfer into the plant. So, and the plant provide them nutrition in respect to the nitrogen, because they provide nitrogen to the plant, and plant provide food to the Rhizobium. So symbiotic association with plant. Symbiotic association with plant. Now second microbe or bacteria is mycorrhiza. Fungi actually. Okay, first we discuss about the bacteria. Now Azobacter, Azotobacter or Azospirillum. These are free living nitrogen fixing bacteria. Free living nitrogen fixing bacteria. Nitrogen fixing bacteria. Now next is, so they fix nitrogen into the soil, or if they present in the field of crop or in the soil of the crop, so they fix atmospheric nitrogen into the soil, or from the soil plants are able to absorb the nitrogen. So that's why they are important or play as a biofertilizers. Now other bacteria are cyanobacteria. cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria like nostoc and association with the root of higher plant, or they help in absorption of the nutrients. So here is the overall about the microbes as biofertilizers or microbes as biocontrol agents. So overall these are the bacteria which help in the different kinds in the production or the fixation of the nitrogen and the fixation of atmospheric nitrogen into the soil or transfer into the plant by rhizobium, or there are so many bacteria which form symbiotic association with plant or symbiotic association with another organism. So here is overall about the microbes. I hope you like this video. Keep listening and watching me, and thank you for listening and watching.